All right, guys. Super exciting day today. We got a mess everywhere here at the shop, but we're removing this wrap. But today is the day. Today's the day, guys. We are gonna be taking Ruby over to SoCal Z to get the turbo kit installed. We got Ruby right here ready to go, and we got the turbo kit that we need to load up onto the truck. The turbo kit, fuel pump, graded turbo timer, that little bit of the fuel return system. He's gonna complete that, wastegates, and I think that's it that we have to load up. I think I'll double check my list right now, but we're gonna be driving Ruby over. We got George here. He's gonna be driving the truck. Let's get a cold start up on Ruby and then move these cars out of the way. Loaded up, jack, impact gun just in case for flat tires. Ruby back here. Let's go. All right, so let's give you guys a little quick backstory as we have a 2.5 hour drive down to Riverside. Motor died. All right, so quick little backstory, guys. For you who are new to the channel and don't know about my car. Way back then, I think it was it was 2018 when I got this car. When I got this car, it was back in 2018, April, and I bought it with 170,000 miles. So we were at 170,000 miles, and then, you know, it was my daily. It was my only car I had. You know, I wasn't doing this whole, like, my own shop thing or anything like that. I was, you know, working a construction job, and I was just doing the car thing on the side. But, you know, it was the only car I had. It was my daily. I would drive it every day to work, to the gym, to everywhere. LA and back, San Francisco and back, all that stuff. So it was my daily. I would drive it. I didn't care about the miles because it was, you know, it was already high mileage. It was at 170,000 miles, you know, but the engine was pretty well taken care of. And again, you know, I'm really familiar with the VQs, and a lot of people just don't check the oil. It's a habit. You have to make it a habit to check your oil. So I was always doing that, and then you know, I ended up reaching to 200,000 miles, and then I got this gauge cluster, this purple gauge cluster that you guys have all seen. Ended up getting this purple gauge cluster that you guys are all familiar with, and of course, as you guys can see, it shows 190,000 miles. But that's not the original mileage, because this is not my original cluster. On my original cluster, it had just hit 200,000 miles when I got this cluster in the mail. It was custom made, but some guys started scamming people, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I don't recommend them to anyone anymore. So I had just hit 200,000 miles. And when he sent me this cluster, he reset it to whatever closest mileage it was at, which was 140,000 miles. So he reset this gauge cluster to 140,000 miles. And then, as you guys can see, I'm at 190. And then doing the math, 200,000 and then 140 plus, you know, it got to 190. That's 50,000 miles. I'm technically at 250,228 miles on this car. So long story short, yes, the car has 250,000 miles, and we are going to be slapping on twin turbos without doing any of the rebuild stuff or any like major like modifications to the engine. So far, the only mods it does have is exhaust, intake manifold, and that's about it. We're going to be upgrading the fuel pump, fuel return system, may or may not get the fuel rails, injectors, but that's about it to support, you know, the twin turbo. You know, it's a lot of air. It's got to get enough fuel for it too. So we're not going for power. We're going for reliability. So I don't care about how much power we put down. You know, that's my only concern. Sebastian from Specialty Z had told me, like, it's doable. You know, go exactly how he said, go for the reliability power, not, you know, full on, like, let's max out your engine until it blows. So that's what we don't want. But that's basically the quick backstory of this car, guys. So right now, on our way to SoCal Z with Tony. SoCal Z Garage, and we're gonna get this turbo kit installed. Oh damn, it has definitely been a drive just to get out here, but finally out here. Let's go check out SoCal Z. Ruby's gonna be parked up at the first location. We got all the parts right here. Turbos, intercooler piping, all the smaller stuff, nuts and bolts. But let's go check out the second location. All right, so we're at the second location where the car's gonna be getting its work done. And right here we got Rudy. He's gonna be doing the majority of the work on the car. He's gonna be taking over, explaining to you guys the whole process.
Before we start, we're gonna be doing a health check, primarily just because of the
mileage, the 250,000 miles. Yeah, so
yeah, we're gonna be checking that out and just making sure that just some preliminary checks, making sure that it's not gonna blow up just right off the freaking first test drive. So, right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be taking that strip bar off, taking the intake pipe off, those covers, and then doing a compression check. Hopefully everything turns out okay and we can just move forward. So cylinder 1, go for it. All right. We got a little bit over 200. Okay. Got it? So this one's sitting right under 200. Good. 200.
454 trucks that they have.
I normally 200. 200. Exactly. Yeah. I didn't plug it in. Good. 200. All right, we're solid. Solid as a rock, my friend. We're good. We're sending it. Pistons to the sky, dude. Rods. Out of here. We're sending the rods to the sky, son. Thing is, we got a solid 200 on every single cylinder. Well, except for number 3, I believe. This one was like 1 or 2 PSI under 200. But that's still good. We're solid. We're good to go.
all right, so this is where we're currently at now. Engine's about ready to get pulled out. What's all that's left? Heater hoses?
We just have a couple of heater hoses that need to get pulled off. Everything else is taken off already. Since we're gonna be pulling it underneath, you have to detach a bunch of that stuff. The steering, the tie rods are off. The drive shaft is off. Yeah, most of it's up. Ready to go.
And then apparently Rudy found quite a bit of leaks on the car. And you said the first thing that you noticed were the valve covers, right?
Yes, sir.
So the valve covers, I think they are the original ones still. So we just placed the order with Tony for Concept Z that has the aluminum one. So Concept Z now makes aluminum valve covers, OEM valve covers, so you don't have to use the Pathfinder ones to get aluminum valve covers anymore. And it's replaceable gaskets with replaceable O-rings, so you don't have to be replacing the whole valve covers. Main rear seal is also leaking now. So 250,000 miles, rear main seal is leaking. It's not too bad, but back one.
Given the mileage of the car, I'd say it's actually pretty clean.
There you go. Alright, I'm down here. Dirty as hell from when I drove it through the mud. Look at all this mud. Literally everywhere. But basically ready to drop down. All right, so the engine is out. Look at that. Now you could really see all the oil leaks everywhere. But never have I seen my engine out. First time right here. Look at that. Yeah, that too. And it's all the way at the bottom, it's low. I was gonna top off, but I was like, it's gonna be a waste of oil, a quart of oil. So from here, Rudy, what's the plan?
Cleaning the fuel, the leaks up, valve covers since we're out. The lip seal that goes here in the front, rear seal. So there's only a few parts that get cleaned up and going back in. The exhaust manifolds, the new ones that go with the turbos and the downpipes and all that stuff, we're gonna be getting those wrapped, assembled, thrown back in with some fresh lines, fresh hoses, that kind of deal. Getting all of this stuff cleaned up too. Get the fuel injectors in there, get the right hoses, right fittings, all that stuff.
And then back here we have the parts that I dropped off. We got the fuel rails, oil catch can, Mishimoto oil cooler as well. That's gonna be going in. It's gonna be curious how it's gonna all work out, mounting up the intercooler and the oil cooler with this front end conversion. So, because it was designed for a G35 front end, not a G37. All right, guys, so that's gonna be the end of part one, the tear down. Engine's finally out. Huge shout out to Rudy getting this done. So part two is gonna be putting the turbos on and putting the motor back in, and then we'll do a part three, first startup, first drive, and we'll go from there. So that's gonna be the end of today's video, guys. Follow Rudy, SoCal Z Garage. He's the ones that's gonna be doing all the work on the car. But again, thank you guys for always supporting the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.